I think we got everything set here, Dennis.
Okay, we hope we get sound.
Welcome. I hope so too. Let's see. Yeah, things are turned up. That's
Very
good.
good.
That's good. My name is Al Stash, and this is Dennis Keating. How are you, Dennis?
Fine, how are you this morning?
Good. We're here for Uptown Villa Park, and in a moment we're going to introduce some guests, but let me introduce one of our other hosts, Sid Berg. How are you, Sid?
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better?
This is Tuesday, and I got up this morning and I was happy.
That's all you have to do, right?
Wait a minute, you got one chance for a commercial. What do you got for today?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Only one chance. Tell them that. Only one chance.
One chance.
No, we'll do more than one. I'll sneak them in. But if you want to have a beautiful Friday night feast, you go up to the BFW for our fish fry. And tonight, this is Tuesday, going out live on Tuesday, bingo tonight.
Okay.
Bingo for the aficionados. And you say we have a $5,000 raffle prize that it is possible to win.
It is possible.
It is
You just have to have the
possible.
right numbers.
It's been won twice.
Okay, now that's enough now for VFW.
Look at him. He said, I'm going to remind you of something. Turn your phone off, Sid.
Turn off your phone.
Oh my golly, yes.
See, I got him this time. He wasn't ready for that. That's good. Sid always has his phone on, and his friends keep calling him, and we get tones coming out during the show. So they all call him, Sid, I can see you on TV, which is great. But we've got two amazing people here today from a church here in Villa Park that we're going to talk about for a little while about giving back to the community for the people that most need. And there's a lot of different opportunities to do that. We talk about it on the show with the veterans and the seniors, etc. But it's not just veterans and seniors. There's other people that have needs. There's other people
Right,
that need to be involved with outreach programs like Hands and Feet Outreach, which is part of a church here in Villa Park. And let me introduce our guests. Let me make sure I got the right here. We'll get you guys on the air there. On the left of your screen, right next to Sid Berg, is Judy Naring. Did I pronounce that right?
Close enough. Yep.
I practiced,
Perfect.
so I had it right. You're the president of Hands and Feet. And to her left, on the right of your screen, is Nan Markham, who's the secretary of Hands and Feet. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Break open the water if you want. Just drink as much as you want. It's all water. Everybody should know that's water, nothing else. But we're going to talk about the church that you guys are involved in, and tell us the church and the pastor and where it's at.
And the church is St. Paul Lutheran Church, and it's at 545 South Ardmore, which is the corner of Ardmore and Washington here in Villa Park. And Steve Swanson is the pastor.
Steve Swanson. And we know Steve pretty well. He's involved with Kiwanis. He's involved with lots of different things. In fact, I actually was a photographer at a wedding he did. He did a wedding in Darien for our chief of police.
Correct.
Not long ago. Great service he did. Wonderful man. And he and his wife I've met, right? He is married.
Maureen.
Marie, great guy. And this is just another example of his leadership and what he does here in our community. So let's talk about it. What is Hands and Feet?
Hands and Feet is an outreach to the community of DuPage County, providing things that are not available through the SNAP program. We're talking about things that are essential to human dignity, like toilet paper, toothpaste, and soap.
Judy, what is the SNAP program?
The SNAP program is often known as food stamps.
Okay, so it's a federal service that provides
Right.
funds for people to, like a credit card,
Right.
to go and shop at grocery stores for products.
Right, and they are not able to buy anything other than food because the program is funded by the Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
And so they get food, but that leaves them without essential items.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we expect anybody to go to work or look for work or even feel good about themselves if they don't have some of these items that we've talked about.
And what are we talking about here?
Toilet paper, toothpaste. We also provide all kinds of personal hygiene articles,
Right.
and paper products and house cleaning supplies.
And none of those are available if they use the federally funded SNAP program,
Correct.
right? Okay. So you have them there at the church?
Yes.
In one of the buildings, or?
Yes, we have it in one of our outbuildings. We
Okay.
call it the Little Yellow House.
The little yellow house, is it back behind the parking lot there?
No, it's right on Ardmore itself,
Oh, on
just
Ardmore.
to the north of the church.
Okay, great. So Hands and Feet is something that the church just puts all of those resources in, or how do you get the resources that you
Well,
provide?
It was originally started with simply donations from St. Paul, and for that we're grateful. Over the years, we've gotten a small Lutheran grant each year that has helped us, but Nan sits at the Wednesday night concerts at the Prairie Path.
That's where we met Nan at the
Sure,
concert.
I've seen down there, sure.
Yes, we met
And
her
she
at the
does
concert.
collections. Sometimes scout troops will adopt us and they'll donate things,
Okay.
but it's strictly by donations.
How about John Q. Public? Do they show up and give you things besides your church members?
Sometimes.
Well, and always at the concert, we hand out flyers
Okay.
saying these are the services we have, and if you're not in need, can you help supply them? And we will often get phone calls or donations as a result of that.
Yeah, that's good, that's
Yeah.
good. You know, and one of the things that we've talked about, I think just recently, maybe on the air or off the air, I forget sometimes, is that, you know, these types of needs are not seasonal only.
No.
You know, everybody thinks, well, Christmas holidays, Thanksgiving holidays, that's when you should give. But we're here now in the middle of August, and I'm thinking that if someone receives something from you last Christmas, they've used it already, right?
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sure they have.
Okay,
Yes, they have.
it's not still holding the fort there, right?
Right.
It's still something that needs to be addressed right now, in fact, all year.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, when we first opened, one of our first clients was a family, and when the lady came and found out we had dishwashing soap, she cried,
Really?
because that was just not on her grocery list.
Yeah.
And most of us, if we see the dishwashing soap is down a little bit, we put it on our list and pick it up the next time.
Right.
We're dealing with people who do without before
Yeah,
they buy
yeah.
in many instances. One of the groups of people that I like that we help are people in transition. One of the things that I often say to people as they leave, see you next month. And one girl who'd been there several times with her young daughter turned to me and said, no, I'll never be back. I graduated from nursing training last night.
Good for her.
And she's not been back.
Right.
So, you know, here was somebody who was in transition, needed a hand up to finish that transition, and she has done so.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like to say, you know, those are among the people that we really reach out
So
to.
when are you open now? When are you open to take care of these people?
We are open the first Sunday of the month from 2 to 4.
Okay. And you get a big turnout then?
Yes.
I
We-
know you. I know from experience you do. Yeah, but go ahead.
We have served upwards of 150 families a month, but we
In a
usually-
2-hour period.
In a 2-hour period, we
God bless you.
usually do about 100. That's
Yeah.
kind of where we've evened out lately.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because our first month we were open 8 years ago, we had 4 families,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we have
Yeah.
grown.
Now, one of the things that I want to go back to is what was the inspiration for doing this? How did you get to doing Hands and Feet as a church community?
We'll tell 2 stories. I'll let
Yeah.
Judy tell
Two
one
stories,
first.
okay.
Two
good.
stories, yep. And it's all brought together by Steve Swanson, like you said. He
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
a good out. I was involved in a conversation with my daughter, and I can't remember the exact conversation, but somehow these same facts
Yeah.
were presented, and I was just shocked. And every time I walked into a Walmart or Target
Yeah.
to buy things for myself, it just weighed on my heart that
Yeah.
there were people who couldn't do this.
Yeah.
So I had started talking with my daughter and with Pastor Swanson, and he had told me, well, Nan's kind of thinking the same things. And then I'm the director of Youth and Family Ministries at St. Paul, and I was at a youth convention for youth directors, and we had a speaker who's a religious activist, and he felt bad speaking about ministering to the poor when he was getting paid a huge stipend to be there. So what he had done, I brought as my prop, he had taken his stipend and had it all cashed out into $1 bills, and he prayed on each one and wrote a message, and he threw them on the floor of the convention center in front of us. And he had just come back from working with Mother Teresa, so he said, pick up the dollar and find your own Calcutta.
And you did.
And this is the dollar then, that was my inspiration.
And it
for
says on there, it's in pink lettering, what?
love.
Okay, L-O-V-E. love.
L-O-V-E, the word's love. So I came back and talked to Nan and Pastor Swanson and said, we have to get this going, that Hands and Feet will be Willa Park's Calcutta.
Yeah, yeah. And you had a story.
Yes, one of our members was in church, or was at the Jewel, and there was a young gentleman ahead of her, and he looked at her, and her first item coming down the conveyor belt was tomatoes. And he said, I'll buy your tomatoes if you'll buy this package of batteries for me. And of course, she was like, what?
Oh,
Number
okay.
one, my tomatoes are over $2, your batteries are 99 cents. And he said, no, I cannot buy batteries on the SNAP
food stamp.
program, and I need these batteries. Well, she was able to come up with the dollar and some cents to buy the batteries for him and pay for her own tomatoes. But, just that story that people are looking for things that they need and will turn to somebody and say, I'll buy you something if you buy this for me. That means he was hurting.
I think it's more common sense when you go to the store, you see people buying a whole bunch of food, then they pay with the food stamps, and there's people behind them, they'll buy anything, they can buy anything. They can't buy anything.
No.
And they just don't understand that
Yeah.
product you need, they can't buy.
Well, and the big thing is now with all of the computer stores being all of the food stores being so computerized, anything that is scanned that does not meet the limits is just put on another list that they have to pay
Then
cash
they
for.
gotta pay cash for it.
And while even some items they can buy with food stamps, they have to pay extra tax on them.
But they also gotta take the grief from the people behind them because, well, you got stuff on there, you don't need that kind of stuff on, It's not being on food stamps, they pay extra for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they don't understand
Can we
that.
turn around and then criticize everything that's in their basket?
Yes, they do. I do.
Well, that's good. That's good.
No,
But
Which
I
is
think
not
you-
productive either way.
no,
I'm sorry.
no.
That's all
I
right.
think you have a good point too, and that's another reason why we feel so strongly
Yeah.
about this, because you say they face the criticism from
They-
people, and so we're just trying
You
to
know-
help people retain their own dignity
Like
and their
you say,
family's dignity.
occasionally, if they're on food stamps or not on a food stamp, they may need a 6-pack of beer. They may need they're buying beer on food stamps, but they're not. They're getting
No.
a separate billing.
Right.
You just
Very-
don't understand
Sure,
that.
sure. Well,
And-
the one thing that threw me when we booked you guys to be on the show, you ladies to be on the show, is the name, Hands and Feet. I'm not thinking right away food pantry or resources. I'm thinking something else. Why Hands and Feet?
Well, there's a Christian rock band named Audio Adrenaline, and one of their songs is named Hands and Feet, and it talks about being Jesus' hands and feet in the world. And so it kind of went along, it's kind of a stretch, but we went along with the hands part is the cleaning
Yeah.
parts. And then we also said that I shouldn't say a lot, a number of our clients are homeless and we see them walking and walking and walking, and what can they not purchase as new shoes? So the feet part is they also can choose 2 pair of shoes each month that they come in for themselves or their family.
Right.
So we're covering the hands part with the cleaning things and the feet part with the shoes.
Yeah, and you mentioned something there for themselves and their family. And throughout any type of conversation where there's a family, everybody focuses on children. And rightfully so. There's an emotional
Yeah.
connection to children. You want to make sure that they have the needs, that their needs are met. But there's adults that have needs. You talked about the mom who was in tears because you had dishwashing soap. That's a pride thing.
Yeah,
Not just,
very
Not
definitely.
just, I need to clean dishes. I want to provide clean dishes to my family,
Right.
or a clean product. So it's important that people understand it's for adults as much as it is children, not just children. And that's a key thing for me.
Well, and we had one gentleman come in, and we have gently used shoes that are donated. And we really always need children's shoes. But one gentleman came in and said, you wouldn't by chance have a pair of work boots with steel toes, because I have a job Monday if I have boots. And we did.
Good.
We had a township on a few weeks ago, and they were telling us about people coming in. And we don't think about the seniors in town either.
Right.
The seniors need the assistance because
Right.
they're not on pension like some people are.
Yeah.
And they're hurting the seniors right in our town here more than you ever know.
Well, and that, you bring out a good point. It's not one separate group.
No.
And it's not one town, one
No.
section of town. I mean, you can't say that, this group of people over here that live over here, they're the ones that need that service. You might find it anywhere in
Right.
this community.
Well, and
where
especially
somebody needs it.
is with people in transition, people all through the community communities lose their job.
Right.
And they're in transition, and even if you're getting unemployment, it doesn't cover
No.
what you normally had. And I've been unemployed over the last several years at different times, and my wardrobe doesn't change, my house doesn't change, my cars don't change, but I still need toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, we pick up some of those people that are in that transition mode. And you were talking about senior citizens. We have one of the most delightful couples that come. They have been married over 60 years.
Oh.
He still calls her his bride. And, they are just so wonderful, but they are residents of Villa Park
Villa
who
Park.
are in need of our help.
And-
And it's so wonderful to have them come.
You give to anybody in DuPage County, or
Right.
I don't know how you check them, but these are not people coming from Chicago to get this stuff, and I'm not knocking Chicago because I grew up,
Right.
but they're from our own people here, right here
Right.
in DuPage County. And, Sid, what do you got to say?
No, I think it's great. I think it's something that we all here have been involved in helping others and being fortunate enough to be able to be in a position to do that. And these ladies are fulfilling something that is very, very needy, a gap in our society.
Yeah.
And working again on the veterans side, I can see where some of these things are so important.
Yeah.
And again, we were talking earlier before going on the air. Excuse me, folks.
Take a drink, Sid.
Villa Park water. Oh, no, that's not good.
That's like Michigan water. No,
GOT water.
And
somewhere else.
see, now I've lost my train of thought. It's thrown off the track. But,
How do people find out about you?
Well, at the very beginning, when we started, I registered us with DuPage County, so it's in the newsletters and that, and we did that 8 years ago, and since then, it's word of mouth and different agencies from the county passing our name along. We have never done any other publicity.
Is there more need now than there was 8 years ago?
It comes and goes. We've actually seen a lot of fluctuation, honestly, with the job market. When there's less jobs, we
Oh, yeah.
see a larger number. And now we've kind of evened off. But we also accept, well, can I circle back and
Sure.
say,
You can do
when
it.
you
This is
ask
your
what-
show.
okay.
It's your show.
When you're asking what kind of ID, the only ID that we ask for is a DuPage County, some sort of picture ID that shows they reside in DuPage County.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is a driver's license, or we also accept the registration card for pads for people who are living in pads. And we have a large number of refugees, of the Burmese, especially the Burmese refugees that are like out of Wheaton. So any card that says that, and now I forgot what your question was.
Well, you're getting towards the requirements, and in
Yeah.
some facilities that provide
How do we-
services like this, they look at financial
Correct.
data
Yes.
in order to make sure that they're eligible for the products or services that you offer. So tell us about the eligibility that they have. You just said they have to have a DuPage County ID
And-
or pads or something like that. What about the financial part?
We don't ask those questions.
Okay.
They simply have to prove they live in DuPage County.
Okay.
And again, that goes back to my experience with being unemployed. If you looked at my finances for the year before, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I had cash the day that I came, kind of thing.
right.
And so it's like, no, we don't want to look at any history.
No.
You're here, and very honestly, there are people who come early. We open at 2. There are people that'll be in line at noon.
Yeah.
And if they're willing to give up their time, they're in need.
Yeah.
And we are willing
They're
to
that
help
long,
them.
yeah. Well, we've touched a little bit on different things like paper products and food and different things. Well, different food services or community services offer different things. Tell us what you have available to people who are in need of hands and feet. What services or product or capabilities do you have?
We have all kinds of personal hygiene articles.
Okay.
For men, for women, you name it, we have it. We have paper products, toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, that kind of
Do you have
thing.
razors?
We
Yes,
have
we do.
razors, shaving cream, razors, deodorant.
Do you need a shave?
Yeah, I wouldn't take theirs. but
And we
yes.
have male and female
Yes.
Okay.
razors.
Okay.
So, and then
Do
we
you have
have,
left-handed razors?
I don't think so. But, and then basic house cleaning supplies.
Okay.
A few baby products, we do not do diapers. It's not cost effective for us, but like baby shampoo, baby wipes, baby lotion, powder, things like that.
And like kids' toothpaste
Yeah.
and toothbrushes.
Okay.
I have a question. How do people get diapers? Your particular clients.
It's very hard. To be completely honest, it's hard. There's a couple places in Lombard that will do it.
Yeah, the WIC program
Program.
and Teen Parent Connection
Yeah.
does it.
They do it. It's really, that's a definite need because it's hard to stock that, but it's something
Very needed.
that you need. Yeah.
Like I said, a Grace Church did it one time over here, and we got a big. They were gone in a week.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's the
They were
thing.
gone in a week.
Here's the thing about diapers, and it's with children or adults or anything. It's a real health issue.
Correct.
Definitely.
It's a health issue because if you don't have the capability to use the diapers the way you should, you can get all kinds of problems going.
Right.
Right.
Whether it's infections that can be very, very serious
Yeah.
if left alone, or just the normal hygiene issues
Right.
that we all have if that is a problem. So that's important. But I haven't heard you say food.
We do not, we provide them cookies and lemonade while they're waiting,
Okay.
but
So
otherwise.
it's not a food pantry.
We do not
No.
provide any food.
Right.
Because there's always a need, but there are more food pantries than there are ones that will give hygiene products. So we felt, I think like you said, it's a hole, a niche that wasn't being filled, and that's
Right.
what our direction was to go that way instead of food.
Great.
How do you catch up with pad people? You mentioned that you work with them.
They come.
They come, but they go from during the wintertime, they go from one church to another, but
Correct.
during the summertime, where do they go?
There's still churches that are
Yeah.
open.
There's still churches that
There
are
are.
open?
Mhm.
But
And
then
then-
they should have toilet paper there, don't they?
Well, they get cleaning things though,
Yeah.
like shampoo and
Yeah.
soap and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. What? It's not just you two running Hands and Feet, right?
It
You
is
got a
not.
staff. Tell us about the staff.
Everyone that works for Hands and Feet is volunteer. It's completely volunteer.
And how many you have?
And
50,
so,
20?
well, each month we need about 8 to 11 people that show up. So we have 11 who are very, very strong, committed. Then we have probably 5 or 6 others that fill in times. And sometimes people come just for a month to see how it is to help out.
Okay.
But yeah, nobody's paid, and it's all volunteer.
All church members?
No.
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 No, we have quite a few outside of church that volunteer on a regular basis and provide products.
Correct.
Good.
And
I
all
don't know if
ages.
everybody can hear that, but we've got some kind of
A vacuum or something going.
landscape maintenance going on. So if you hear this roar out there, they're working outside. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and we take all ages. One of the girls Catherine was 6?
Six, which-
when we started. And she's still there helping us, and we have high school age kids that help, and college age. And
And you get the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts to help you out once in a while?
sometimes they do. They don't have not come and volunteered on times that we're open, but they have done collections and donations for us. And even one of the Villa Park Scouts for his Eagle Project built tables and shelves for our storage room.
Nice.
Very good.
That's
So
great.
we appreciate all that help.
All those little things are important.
Oh, definitely.
They truly are. But if someone comes to your church when you're open and they're new to you, you talked about just showing an ID. What can they expect when they arrive?
What they're going to do is they'll come in. The first person they'll see is Nan.
Okay.
She greets at the door, and then she has a clipboard that she sends out that they sign up in the order of appearing there.
Okay.
And then they will.
So they queue up.
They queue up, yep.
Okay.
And then we invite them into fellowship hall at church where they'll sit and have cookies, refreshments, coloring pages for the kids. And the registrar, I guess we'll call her, we'll call them up in order of the sign-up sheet.
To sign up. Okay.
And she will check their IDs and check them against our records. If they're new, we make notation of that and take their information. And then we'll give them the order form. and they can choose 10 items each month off the order form.
Okay.
And when they get that done, they'll go back by Nan, and she'll count to make sure, verify that there's 10 items chosen. And then they come across to the yellow house, and we fill their order then in the yellow house.
Okay. Okay. Now, 10 items sounds like a lot, but it may be, toothpaste, deodorant, things like that,
Yeah.
right? So,
Correct.
do they have? You see people carrying big bags as they leave, or is it?
If they
just
get paper
packets?
products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the time they bring their own bags,
Okay.
reusable bags. We certainly have bags there, but at one point we gave away a lot of bags that were provided by Kellogg, and a lot of people still come back with those bags. But since so many people use the reusable bags just to go to the grocery store,
Right.
they'll come with their own bags, and then we fill those.
Great. Great. You guys have grown over the years, I'm sure.
Yes.
And how many years has it been going?
Since May of 2007.
2007. So we're at 8
So
years
8
now.
years.
More than 8 years. You talked about the first time there was 4 people,
Yes.
and now there's a line of many.
Many.
Growth has been space and resources. How did that grow? How did you get to where you are now?
Well, we have outgrown our space. Our space is actually the basement of the yellow house that's on Ardmore.
Okay.
And there's not space in there, so they were congregating in the parking lot of the church, and a couple years ago now probably, there was a snowstorm where the snow was feet high, and we just felt it was not safe, so we opened up the fellowship hall of church. So it's not as that convenient because we're in 2 different places, but at least it allows our clients to go inside and wait inside and sit down.
The fellowship hall, that's the building that's behind the parking lot,
Yeah.
or east of the parking lot?
Part of the church.
That's
No,
the
they're
basement of the church.
Okay,
I'm
basement
sorry.
of the church.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is handicapped accessible,
Oh, great. Okay.
which works
You
very
get down the
well.
elevator.
You can get down in the elevator, and
Not
we
the
have
biggest
a
elevator in the world, but
no,
you get,
No, it does
I-
not.
I'll grant you that. It's not the biggest elevator. But you get down there.
and there's a
ramp.
ramp from the
Yes.
parking lot
That's
on
right.
up. And then if somebody, is handicapped and cannot go over to the yellow house and navigate the stairs there, we do have runners
Okay.
who will go and take the order blank, go and get the item and bring it back to the person.
You ever go to corporations, big corporations, ask for donations?
Sometimes we get them. We used to get a lot from Osco, and then we lost that connection. But random different ones will do it. But we're lucky that the gentleman that does most of our purchasing for us now,
Okay.
through his work, his bosses allow him to buy from the same distributors they do. So we can get things for under $1 a piece oftentimes,
Good.
which has been a huge
Help.
Huge help.
If we give you a donation, is it tax deductible?
It is.
Yes.
Is it 501k or what?
We use
Foundation.
we're the 501(c)(3) through the church.
Okay, you use the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the check would be made out to St. Paul Lutheran and then just designating hands and feet as the recipient.
Okay, yeah. Just,
We've had the York Township folks over here, Pam Sarno, who is now one of the assistant directors or something at the, she's moved up in the organization there. But she used to be part of the food pantry there. And they have some toiletry products
Right.
and paper products. But they, like many, including yourself, limit the number of times people can come to your facility in any calendar period. So they often look to refer people to other groups. Are you guys on the list? How do you share amongst other organizations like you
Okay,
that they can come or you can refer
Yeah.
them to others?
We do have a list that we do refer people where they can get food and clothes that we don't have. I don't know if we're on the York Township list. I would think so
I think
because
you
we're on
are. I
DuPage
think you
County.
are.
Right.
she gave us Edwards, I think is
Okay.
the name of that.
And I do know that a lot of the food pantries communicate back and forth as to who's been there that month. Because we are the only outreach that is offering the products we're offering. At this point, we do not communicate. At one point, there was a talk of a church in Naperville starting this same service. And one of the things we said to them is, we'll support you, but we will also share the information.
Right.
So that people aren't double
Usually
dipping.
1 week by you, 1 week by them.
Right,
yeah.
and we are only open once a month, so we allow everybody to come once a month.
Right.
Okay, so you don't limit anybody, but you're open only once a month.
Right.
That's the other part of it, yeah.
And we do get people who do come 12 times in a year.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a smaller number.
The people who come the first time to your place, is it a social group in the basement for you until you open the doors? Do they get together, they
In the
get to know
fellowship
each
hall.
other?
Yes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there's a few families that really
Well, like his bingo,
keep up.
people
Yeah.
come at 4:30 to play bingo at 6:30 or so, so they a social group.
Right.
We do have two of our clients who, we don't open the doors until 20 minutes to 2
Okay,
kind of thing.
whatever, yeah.
And they may be out there since noon, and there are two ladies who come and put our signs out for us, and they keep track of who's who, and if somebody's new, they make sure they know how things go, and so they have become volunteers in themselves.
I thought it was very interesting at the concert that night when I met you over at the concert, that you got diapers. I think you did get diapers that
We
night.
did.
I think you did other stuff, donated to you.
Right.
And then you had one of your clients carry it to the car for you?
I have different people carry the items to
Yeah.
the car, very definitely. Yeah, in one instance, it was a client.
Yeah,
It was Ron.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
he was at the concert and he'd been talking to
We
me.
was talking and, well, you got help. Well, he's one of the clients,
Yeah,
And so he gives back too.
Right,
He gives back.
yes.
And
Yeah.
we do have a number of clients who, either when they've graduated or if they don't need diapers anymore or something like that, they do donate back too because they say it's their way of saying thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great, that's great. Well, it's nice to get donations of products, diapers and paper and dishwashing products, but one of the other things that you need is cash.
Correct.
So how are you funded? You talked about the Lutheran grant earlier, but how are you funded? Is it through
Donations.
donations in your church, or do you solicit donations outside the church as well?
Well, we've not been as good as we should be about soliciting. That's
It's
one of the
very hard to go out
reasons.
and ask
Yeah.
for money all the time.
And, that's one of the reasons I'm at the concerts, and we do get cash at the concerts. That is recorded. And, just when people hear about us, I know one lady said, been looking at this line, had to come in and find out what this is all
Oh,
about.
driving down Ardmore or
Yeah,
Washington,
and she
yeah.
lived in the area.
Yeah.
And she came in and I talked to her about it, and the next thing I knew, we had $100.
That's good.
So, we do get neighborhood people who are interested in helping us too.
Yeah.
Can I drop off stuff at the church anytime?
They can. Anytime that the church office is open, we can take it. So
Okay.
usually someone's there between 9 and 2.
Okay.
Just ring the bell or call. Or if those aren't convenient times, people have called and then I've met them
Okay.
and picked them up too.
Well, one of the things that we probably want to talk about is the major needs. Okay, if Dennis is going to show up in his car with his wife and give you a donation of product, not dollars, but product, what would you hope he had in the car?
Well, the things that we go through the most of every month are toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, tissues, Kleenex,
Paper products.
laundry soap, shampoo.
And liquid fabric softener. We've
yeah.
learned that people that go to the laundromat often take their clothes home to dry them, just hanging them, and
okay.
and the sheets that go in the dryer don't work for them.
Right.
Oh, the sheets that you would fill.
Yeah, that you would
cloth
put in the
sheets.
dryer, and they don't use a dryer, so they prefer the liquid, which
okay.
goes
To
in
put
the wash
with the wash
with
rather
the
than in
rinse.
dryer.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. See, I know that. That means I do laundry.
You do laundry. Good for you. We all did.
You want to do my laundry? Can I ask you, do you do any referrals? That is, do you have any place that you can tell people, you don't have it, but you can go to so-and-so?
Yeah, very definitely. I do have a list of some of the food pantries around, and then there's always Love Clearinghouse that handles some of the bigger donations that are needed, and so then I will refer people to Love Clearinghouse.
And when calls come through the church, we have a book in the church office that lists those agencies Nan has mentioned and other ones. So
Yeah.
when they come in that way, we can give them, provide them. And we keep saying we're going to put up a bulletin board with numbers
Someday.
and more information.
We have the bulletin board.
We do. It's just not up.
Yeah. Now, we talked about once a month, and I think you may have mentioned it before, but let's go back and remind everybody, when is Hands and Feet open?
The first Sunday of every month from 2 to 4.
From 2 to 4.
And
okay?
we've only missed in 8 years one time where we had to move it, and that was because it was the 4th of July and Villa Park closed the streets for the parade.
Right,
And so we moved it one week.
okay.
But every other time we are open on Easter this
We're
year.
open in blizzards.
We're open, yeah.
He's in charge of the parade. He was the one that moved it. He caused
Blame
you
him.
trouble.
All right.
Remember we said VFW, he's VFW.
Yeah. But, we had enough warning that we were able to
Yes.
let people know.
Right.
But the rest of the time, we had bad snow this year. And people said, you were open? And we said, oh, yes. Or they'll call and say, are you open? And we are there.
We have a church in town now, beginning this month. They're going to help the seniors, and volunteers are going to come to your house if you want. You call the church,
Oh, right.
and they're going to come to your house and do your yard work if you need it, or you're going to shovel snow.
Is that Helping Hand? What is that?
That's Helping Hand over on Villa Avenue in Reardon. And they got a food pantry on Wednesday
Right,
over there.
Right.
And they're doing that. We'll have them on too.
Right.
But
Well,
it's what we're trying to do is get the information out to the public. That's all we're doing here. And it's helping out that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking as we're talking here today, what did I need today before I came here? Okay? Some of the products that you've talked about, obviously all the bathroom products, yes.
Yes.
Okay. The clothes that I'm wearing were washed in a washer and dryer. Most of them. Not my shoes. I have shoes on today, and I chose from 4 different pairs of shoes.
I didn't know about the shoes. I didn't know you had shoes over there.
You do.
Gently used.
Great idea.
Gently used. So, there's an opportunity when I'm done with a pair of shoes to maybe help somebody else.
Right.
Right.
Clothes? What about clothes? No. Too big of a
Yep.
project.
Right.
And
Correct.
space and
Correct.
coordination. But shoes are a good thing. And, other things, you talk about shaving products. Yeah, I didn't shave this morning, but I usually do every day. And, there's a razor
Yeah.
that doesn't last very long if it's
Right.
one of those cheap razors.
Right.
Okay, it may last twice. For Sid's beard, probably once.
I have a very soft beard.
Oh, it's okay, sure.
I'm just an old softie.
That's right. But, if you think about it, you folks at home, if you think about it, what did you use today? And think about the fact that you need that every day. And what did you run out of? I tell you, my wife is always saying, don't forget paper towels when you go to the store. Don't forget paper towels. And I keep thinking to myself, well, there's a dish towel there. Why am I not using that? But, people don't have all of those resources. So we could probably take an aisle of Jewel for paper towels every week.
Well, Al, next time you and your wife go shopping, whatever you buy twice as much, and take the other half over to the church.
Well, you're going to be going there anyway, so I'll just put it in your cup. and we're joking back and forth, but I guarantee you I'll be over there and we'll try to help you out and as often as we can. And you people out there do the same thing. Tell us where your church is so people know.
It's at the corner of Washington and Ardmore, 545 South Ardmore.
Okay? No one can miss it. You go down Ardmore all the time. You know where it's at. You got a beautiful sign up front, right?
Correct?
Yes.
Right? Beautiful church.
And the Sunday that we're open, we have a sign right at the driveway out on the parkway.
Yeah.
And then one back by the church to point the way.
Well, I drove by that sign 2 or 3 times before I understood what it meant, truthfully.
Well, we appreciate this because we are
Well, we
realizing
got time yet.
that even though we think that we're visible, that even in Villa Park there are people who don't know we exist.
That's right. He did not know you exist until you talked about it.
Right. That's true. And the other thing I want to mention is, tell us about the type of people, not their financial, their who they are, but give us a picture of who comes to your facility. Is it single people, married people, seniors, families?
All of the above,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all nationalities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy today to see a picture of two little boys going off to school on Facebook. And they had been clients of ours before they were born and right after they were born.
Look at that. Did you hear that? She was on Facebook today.
We don't belong. We don't have.
Yeah.
Show off.
Take an example.
But here, they're no longer clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet it's just fun to see because we remember some of the struggles that they had
And
at
you
the
meet
time.
the nicest people where
Right.
you don't know, truthfully.
Yeah.
And you really feel you're part of their lives.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're here for, to help.
Yeah, and I know
Payback is wonderful.
last year we had over 350 families from Villa Park
At one time throughout the year? Or?
at one time throughout the year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's that many people need help in Villa Park, is there?
Yes, there is, and that's just, I think there are a lot of people who either don't know about us or don't want to come because it's hard for people.
It's very hard.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Pride would be stopping a lot of people.
Yeah.
At again, VFW commercial. On Thanksgiving, we have fed something like 200 recruits from Great
Right.
Lakes.
Yeah.
And we always, our main man, Dennis Geisman, is a person that he doesn't take no for an answer from anybody. And so we always have food, so much food left over. And I think last year, I think he gave out something like close to 150 turkey dinners after we fed the
Recruits.
The
troops,
200,
the recruits
maybe.
in town. And the names we got from the various churches, including St. Paul's.
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting. People do not know. What do you do with the food left over after Thanksgiving?
Well, like I say, part of it goes, a lot of it goes to feed people who don't have a Thanksgiving dinner.
How about the veterans in Chicago?
We have a Virginia Prophet is doing it, started with her husband 20-some years ago, has a Sunday morning food run that they go down into Chicago, into the real seamier spots, and they give out something like 900 to 1,000 bags a day with the food in. Sandwich, they call it their sandwich run, but a lot of the food is, and we also give food that's left over from our fish fry that we help her with.
You're making us all hungry, Sid. We're getting close to lunchtime, talking about food. But one of the things I wanted to ask you ladies is, you probably stand around or working through the Hands and Feet program, and you look around and you say, it'd be great if we had something, this. Or if this was changed so that we could do this. Some of the things that go on in your mind, your ideas, your dreams of what you want this to become. What are those?
Mine are pretty big, but
Good for you. Good
I
for
would,
you.
to me, I would love to have a facility where we could be open a couple times during the week besides
More
just
often.
more
Yeah.
often.
Okay.
And provide internet maybe so people can get on and do job searches or do resumes or come and we have a washer and dryer that sits in the basement there. Sign up for an hour and come and be able to do free laundry. Come and have some place to sit so you don't have to walk up and down the sidewalks all day. Just so we can provide some more of those opportunities to help people get back on their feet or whatever they need to help get them back in the job market or
Get the-
retain their dignity,
Yeah.
whatever.
How about you?
Very definitely, there is this need out there. And as I talked about, we would love it to go away.
Oh, yeah.
It would be wonderful if we could go out of business. But we can't because we're always going to have senior citizens in need. We're always going to have people in transition. And, it's just something that we want to be there for them and provide what can we do to help them. And, we're open to suggestions. Right now, we found this one niche that is working well for us, and we're open for even that to grow as more people hear about it.
You talk about shoes. How often do you need shoes? More often than you got it? Or
Yes,
how about shoe boxes in other churches?
that's
Put
a
the
good
shoe-
idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, put shoe
you know.
boxes in every church, and once a week or once a month go correct them.
Yeah. The big thing that we need is children's shoes.
Children's shoes? Okay.
Because
Yeah,
when we have them, they're gone.
Right, and they
and-
don't last long on the children's feet.
Right, because the kids grow. And so many times when we do collect them, they are gently used. And of course now as winter's coming, we will need boots again.
Yeah.
And, especially, again, children's boots, because we do get adult boots that, go and work well, but the children need a new set of boots each year.
They keep getting bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
And you pointed out, you saw a couple of faces that you recognized on Facebook, happily going to their first day of school. These families live in our community and they have to do things. in town.
Right.
They have to go to school. You can't, just because
Yeah.
you don't have resources doesn't mean your kids aren't supposed to go to school. They still have to go to school.
Right.
The law says they still have to go to school.
Right.
And they'll get some services there, but in order to get out the door to the church or to the school, you need shoes and boots.
Well, and on the first day of school, kids are supposed to have all kinds of supplies
Yeah.
that they bring in.
Oh, yeah.
And while we don't usually provide school supplies, one of the things they have to have is that box of Kleenex that every teacher collects one
Yes,
from
yes.
every student, and that's one thing that we can help them with there.
Yeah, the Odeum just had a school day, back
Right.
to school day,
Right.
and they gave out bags of stuff that the kids need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Odeum did, and also DuPage County did out in Wheaton.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We did one year,
See,
another
people don't know
community.
that. We got to get it out to the people somehow.
Well, and we had gotten flyers on the Odeum one.
So we passed those
Yes,
out.
yeah.
So that,
Yeah.
if people tell us about an event that's coming up, that's
see, watch our
applicable for
channel,
our
get it out there,
clients,
too.
then we pass those flyers on.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I just, the conversation that we've had, for the people that are watching us, the thousands and thousands of people who watch this show live and every day at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m.
That's right.
Right, Dennis? We're doing our own commercial now, so we're going to compete with the VFW commercials. But, I see on Facebook a lot of people, I'll call them trolls, that sit there and complain or criticize things as soon as they see them come up online. And, someone will post something that, oh my God, look at these people. Why don't they go out and get a job? They're just taking handouts. I'm working hard and they're taking my money.
They'd be more than happy to. Get them a job.
I'm sure they would. And my point is this, shame on you for doing that.
Yeah.
Shame on you for thinking that 300 families don't need what these people provide.
Right.
Shame on you.
And we do have a Facebook page for Hands and Feet, so come out and like us.
That's right.
All right, we'll find you, we'll like you.
Like us. And,
And occasionally our clients
Dennis
will,
won't, but we will.
yeah.
will make a mention, they'll send us a message that says, thank you. One year we were able to provide Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we had families right back, we wouldn't have had a tree
That's
without,
right.
Yeah.
without your input.
Well, we talked about when you're open. When can someone bring something to you?
Anytime.
Anytime.
And very honestly, the back door of the yellow house, we have an attached porch, and the back screen door is always open, and people can leave donations just on the porch.
That's the yellow house.
The yellow
And
house,
the back door,
yes,
the yellow house.
in
you
the
can put-
parking lot of St. Paul.
And you can put any type of donation will be accepted on the back porch.
On the back porch.
Anytime.
I've got to get to the yellow house thing.
Yeah.
This is a segue, and excuse me, ladies, for this. But I have noticed that there's a new yellow building in town,
Yes, on St. Joe's.
Oh, yes,
right next to the VFW.
yes.
It's
Is
like
that a
school
primer
bus.
and there's going to be
Looks like a
another
school
color,
bus.
or is that the top coat, Sid,
That's the top
next to
coat.
the VFW building?
It's, as you know, last night that was referred to, somebody referred to that as, that's the color.
That's
I
the
think
school
it
bus color.
That was the color that it's going to be.
That is it. That's the
Yeah.
final color. You won't miss that building on St. Charles
You
Road.
see that on St. Charles Road?
It's a good way to
Yes.
find the VFW, next to the yellow building.
Ours is not that bright a yellow, it's a very pale yellow.
Pale yellow.
And now we're going to get criticized by the people that own that building and they're painting it and they're painting
If they want to come in and talk to us, well, ask
That'll
them.
make for good television.
That's right.
Yeah,
We'll
why
do a color
yellow?
chart.
Yeah,
Why
why,
yellow?
why bright yellow?
Yeah, yeah.
Other than the fact that it's doing something that we're doing right now, talking about it.
Yeah.
Right, right. Getting attention, getting attention. That's what we want to do for you at Hands and Feet. Hands and Feet Outreach Program is the church located, and the name of the church and location and contact information.
St. Paul Lutheran Church, 545 South Ardmore, in Villa Park, corner of Washington and Ardmore. And you can call the church office at 630-832-5580 and talk to anybody in there. And I'm there usually Monday through Thursday. And you can set up a time to drop things off. You can ask questions if you're in need of the services, and they will inform you of the times.
Hang on a minute, folks. Hang on a minute. What was the telephone number again?
630-832-5580.
Did I get it all? Dennis, did you get it all?
They got it. They need your help. They need you to drop off products. They need more products now. They get more people coming. So let's come and give them stuff, folks.
And they can mail a check to St. Paul
St. Paul.
Mail a
at
check.
544 South Ardmore.
You buy your stuff through the food pantries of Illinois or not?
No.
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 Okay.
Okay. You're looking at three great people. Sid on the left, but we'll talk about him later. Judy Nering, president of Hands and Feet, thank you for what you do.
You're welcome. Thank you for
are doing
having
a
us.
great thing. Nan Markham, secretary of Hands and Feet,
Thank you.
and you are doing an amazing thing as well. Thank you. Okay, on behalf of the people that receive your services and the community, because you're helping support all of us by helping those. And you can always contact them via the way that they just mentioned. They are looking for resources throughout the year, not just the holiday season. So today, if you think about it, Dennis goaded me into buying double paper towels. I'll do that next time, and then I'll take them over to St. Paul Lutheran Church. And if you have that capability, do it. Yeah, you can write it off if you donate something that, you can get it off on your taxes, but don't do it for that reason. Do it because it helps somebody. Do it because it doesn't just help somebody, but as you heard, a lot of people transition away from need into going to school, going to work, having a new job, and no longer needing. That's their goal. Help them reach that goal through Hands and Feet. And Hands and Feet, it may have started as a rock music reference, but here in Villa Park it means help.
Correct.
And there are many, many Christian songs that refer to Jesus' hands and feet. So not only the rock, but even some older hymns that definitely do that.
Yeah, the hymn book is about that thick, so I'm sure we can find a lot of references to
Yeah.
that. Ladies, it's been a pleasure to meet you and hear about Hands and Feet. I'm glad Dennis and Sid brought you here today. I hope that the people that are watching will do the right thing and keep you in their hearts and mind, and the people that you serve and support will be ever thankful, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very
And
much.
this is your station. Anytime you need help, come back to us.
Oh, thank
We'll
you.
try to help you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, thanks for watching us at Uptown Villa Park. Let me put me on camera. I was talking, I wasn't on camera.
Oh my God.
That can happen. Thanks for watching Uptown Villa Park. This is Al Stash with Dennis Keating, Sid Berg, and our guests Judy Nearing and Nan Markham from St. Paul Lutheran Church here in Villa Park. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
So 1 minute.
You're silent.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that wasn't so bad.
No, not at all.
Thank you for coming, Nan.
Thank you.
Yeah.